at a time when dedication and sacrifice mean more than ever. Court TV and Parade Magazine salute our nation's law enforcement officers. To all of America's heroes, we dedicate this program. They are the nation's finest. They put their lives on the line to protect ours. But their stories of courage are just part of their everyday jobs. Tough, challenging, and too often unsung. For 35 years, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, the IACP, and Parade Magazine have honored the nation's top cops. Now, Court TV and Parade Magazine present the IACP's selections on Badge of Courage, Police Officer of the Year. Hello, I'm Dennis Franz. Each week I play Detective Andy Sipowicz on NYPD Blue, shot here on this set at Fox Studios. Tonight, we're about to meet real-life heroes in the aftermath of our nation's tragic events of September 11th. On that day, 343 New York firefighters and 23 police officers gave their lives to protect ours. At the end of our program, we will pay a tribute to those heroes who reminded us with their courage and their lives what it means to protect and serve. And now, it is my honor to salute the IACP's 11 nominees for Police Officer of the Year 2001. First up, a man who's making Fontana, California streets safe from gangs, Corporal Bob Ratcliffe. Gangs and their violent messages, they are everywhere in Los Angeles and are spreading into the suburbs and smaller communities. Corporal Bob Ratcliffe had worked well with kids during his bike patrol days. Tough but fair, he was a natural to be assigned to the gang unit.
Corporal Ratcliffe is a very active officer, makes lots of arrests, lots of contacts, so he has a high profile in the community and is well known by the gang members.
May 9th, 2000. Ratcliffe is finishing up paperwork at the end of his shift. Off duty, he heads home in his truck.
I had just finished my shift. It was around midnight, a little past. I usually just had my wallet to contain a flat badge and my police ID and a gun that I usually just sat underneath my leg. Stopped for a red light. I happened to look to my right. I made eye contact with the driver, didn't think too much about it, but I immediately noticed that this car changed lanes so they got behind me. This really sparked my attention. I started to slow down a little bit. They slowed down, they stayed behind me. So I was a little concerned.
To keep the car from following him home, Ratcliffe decides to take a different route. But then he realizes he's almost out of gas. He has to make a quick decision.
I pulled my truck over here where you see it. The suspects pulled past me. They pulled up in front of my vehicle and stopped. Then the passenger got out. He had a black hooded sweatshirt on. He pulled it up over his face so he could still see, but so that his face was concealed. So he started walking. When he turned around, I could see that he was holding his side.
Stop, police! Let me see your hands! Police officer, stop where you are! Let me see your hands!
He continued to advance. He pulls his weapon out, points it towards me, says, "I have something for you." We engage in a gun battle.
Ratcliffe has hit the gunman, but then a second one appears.
I'm opening my door to try to gain a little bit of a tactical angle. At this point, I hear gunshots. The best tactical thing for me was to relocate. It was at this point that I was yelling for someone to call 911. From here, the vehicle headlights started to come back northbound. They did not stop, they just slowed, and they continued on northbound. I could still see the first suspect laying on the ground. At that point, I saw someone come out at the house, and about the same time I saw them, I saw the headlights coming back southbound.
The gang members come back 3 times, each time slowing but never stopping.
It was at that point that I was able to hop that small wall. The people came back out, hand me the telephone. I told them to get back in their house, and I got on the line with the dispatcher.
officer. What is your name?
Bob Radcliffe. I'm a corporal with Fontana Police Department, and it looks like they tried to do an ambush. Yeah, they were after me.
2 sheriff's deputies are the first of many units to respond. Radcliffe, not in uniform, is carrying a gun. He has to instantly ID himself to avoid being mistaken for a criminal.
Deputy right here.
Radcliffe gives a description of the gang car. He even remembers the license plate, missing only one number, leading to the arrest of the 2 suspects. The third has died of his wounds at the scene.
When it jammed, what happened?
They said that their weapon was jammed. If they had been able to clear that weapon, they would have come back to kill me. That was their plan.
In videotaped confessions the next day, the 2 suspects reveal that, ironically, it wasn't Radcliffe they'd been after, but a man getting money from an ATM machine. His pickup truck looked just like Radcliffe's. Their bad luck. They picked the wrong truck.
I think the corporal was definitely a hero. He wouldn't pass, when he did, I'd be dead right now myself.
Corporal Radcliffe uses training that he's had in over 17 years of law enforcement experience to successfully go home at the end of his shift.
The events of that night are a big wake-up call for Radcliffe.
This gas tank never goes empty. It's always got at least half a tank. One of the other things I learned is that now I carry extra magazines full of ammunition and a cell phone.
Radcliffe's brush with death has also given him a new appreciation of life.
I've lost 25 pounds, and I have shed that shell of the person I used to be. I've been given a new chance, and that's where I'm going.